Hello, everybody. I'm Pedro. I'm here with Rohan from CryptoKitties. Say hello, Rohan.
Hey, how you doing?
All right. So I'm here at Web Summit. I just saw an awesome talk by Roham. He was talking about not only about CryptoKitties. I don't want to ruin the surprise. So do you want to talk about your most recent project?
Sure, absolutely. I talked about Flow, which is the new blockchain we announced a few weeks ago, as well as our collaboration with the NBA to build NBA TopShot.
That's pretty awesome. How's that project going, by the way? I think everybody wants to know about that.
It's going really well. I think we have a big challenge ahead of us because we're trying to make a crypto application that is really mainstream and that basketball fans are going to get excited about. But that's our commitment, that basketball fans are going to be very excited about what we're building.
I really hope so. And what lessons did you learn from CryptoKitties? Which lessons did you take to the new product that you're building?
That's a really good question. I guess the biggest lesson is that it's very important to make sure from the ground up that you build your technology to match user experience. And at the end of the day, we tried what we could with CryptoKitties, but with NBA, we have to be much more careful about making sure that mainstream customers get an awesome experience from the get-go. But that they're also able to understand what decentralization adds to their lives and why this whole thing needs to be on crypto in the first place.
Exactly. How do you feel about people, general people that are not that into crypto? How do you feel about those people coming into the field? Do you think that they'll understand how everything works? Do you have a problem with the fees in your new platform? How are you going to solve that?
Well, that's a really good question. So to start, all of the friction parts of crypto, the fees, the latency, all these things, we're doing our best to actually mask that as much as possible from the user. Number one, on Flow, fees will be insignificant and latency will be much reduced compared to current networks. So hopefully it will feel as modern and smooth as a normal application. Okay. But the magic of crypto is that you really own something and that it's yours no matter what. You can take it wherever you want. You can sell it at any time. You can give it away. You can destroy it if you want to destroy it. You cannot do that.
Sorry, do you want to go over there? Yeah.
I actually don't mind the rain, but
yeah, sure.
Your computer's probably...
No, I don't mind. I'm okay with it.
Yours is okay if we sit on the edge.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't mind at all.
I guess it is.
Sorry about that. All right. Let's continue. Yeah, go on, sorry.
What was the question?
It was about... I forgot to... Right.
Mainstream people
yes,
coming
exactly.
in.
Yes, thank you.
Right. So what we have to do is take away all of the bad parts of crypto. But the magic of crypto is that you own the thing you pay for. And that once you paid for it, it's 100% yours. You can do whatever you want with it. You can buy it. You can sell it at any time. You can give it away. You can destroy it if you want to. And I think that everybody's going to understand that. Because when you go into a modern mobile app or any sort of digital experience, you've been trained to assume that the thing you pay for is that you're actually renting it. You're not buying it. You can't sell it if you want to. You'll never make money from something you bought in a game, even if you bought it cheap. But that just won't be the case with blockchain assets. With blockchain assets, when you're buying into something that the authenticity will be tracked from start to finish. That the scarcity is the limited edition nature of each one of those items is written into a smart contract. And so day one, they won't understand all of the details. But I think once they see that these assets that they've paid for are real, that they can take it into third-party applications, that they can sell them on different marketplaces, I think then they'll be very curious to see where the rabbit hole goes.
I completely agree. How did you convince companies to join forces with you? Because I assume they're going to lose a bit of revenue, right?
Well, actually, I don't think so. In the sense of, if you think about it, a big brand today, if they want to sell something or interact with their customer in a digital space, they have to do it in someone else's digital space. Okay. So if you think about it, even the NBA, if they want to interact with their customers on Facebook, they have to do it through Facebook. If they want to interact with their customers on Instagram, they have to go do it through Instagram. With blockchain and non-fungible tokens, for the first time, a brand can sell something directly to a fan, and the fan can choose where to take it. Okay. Whether they want to take it into a game, whether they want to take it into Instagram, into WeChat, into Facebook, it doesn't actually matter. The brand has a direct connection with the fan. And that really gets companies that have actual cultural influence, it gets them excited. People that are not just digital middlemen find value in being able to connect with their communities more directly.
Okay. I think this is the right question to ask you. You're the collectible collectibles guy, I guess, one of the most experienced people in the space that knows about collectibles. How do you see, like, these like, the collectibles? I'm going to say technology, not the technology, right? But let's say the collectibles technology on the blockchain. How do you see that taking over, the corporate space? Do you see any way that, collectibles can take over corporations or being used by other types of, corporations with, like, for interactions with employees, for example?
Yeah, that's an interesting concept, and I'll generalize from the question from sort of collectibles to more, I guess, digital assets in general, because you can think about obviously Bitcoin was one of the first digital assets that is actually real, right? That exists outside of any individual platform, that anybody can buy and hold, no matter, and nobody can take it away from you, even if they wanted to. CryptoKitties applied that same idea to an in-game item, a cat, whether it's an avatar, whether it's whatnot. But you can imagine that same concept applying to any bundle of data. The fact that something is digital means you can program it, right? So you can program the creation of a digital asset. Maybe something happens inside a decentralized system, and out pops a digital asset that represents that achievement, or that the fact that fact happened in history. But now it's a sort of a tradable token on the blockchain. So absolutely, you can imagine, even getting awards and achievements, whether from your company, whether from your community. I agree. Whether from your favorite athlete. And
I'm going to ask you the question that my girlfriend asked me when we discussed this same idea. I mean, how are you going to, like, solve the problem of people, selling their own awards, right, to other people, right?
Well, I mean, an award is only, think about it, not many awards are useful or valuable, let's say. Not many people would pay money for individual awards. But even recently, you have examples of wealthy philanthropists buying Nobel Prizes from individuals as a way to financially support the person who won that award. And so you can even think about a esports athlete, right, succeeds at something, and their biggest fan wants to buy the sword with which they killed the final award as a way to support that esports athlete. And so the fan is getting a collectible, something of value that they can keep for the rest of their lives, and the athlete is getting supported. And so we think about those things a lot, and of course, you can't. Many of these digital assets won't have financial value. They might be only valuable to you and maybe your friends, that sort of thing. But in special cases, let's say if it's a historic achievement, or if it's a particular individual that others want to support, this could be a fantastic way to create a whole new economy of peers supporting peers.
I completely agree. So I'm assuming that you like projects like, Engine, for example, that are trying to build, like, a decentralized protocol for gaming. I mean, what do you think about projects like, Engine, projects that are building protocols, decentralized protocols for, digital assets, besides, obviously, like, Bitcoin, etc. Do you think that they will work in the future?
I mean, the general comment I would make is that it's so early in blockchain that I support all activities and all efforts and all experiments. Commenting on specific projects is more difficult because it's tough to imagine we'll have a million different blockchains for a million different use cases, but it's also impossible to imagine we'll just have one. And so it'll be somewhere in the middle. And I don't have a perfect crystal ball to be able to predict who's going to be able to succeed. But I think it's going to be about adding real value to real users, not about pumping a particular token price or whatnot.
I completely agree with that. I mean, although I think price is quite important for adoption. I mean, I don't see any other, metric that's, so important as price, but I understand what you mean. How do you feel about digital identities? Do you think that's, going to be very useful on the blockchain?
I think identity is a big word, and it's a very loaded word that means different things to different people. And I think, but the concept of a user having control over their data, over their accounts, over their assets, and the history of what they've actually done, 100%. I mean, if you think about it, in modern centralized systems, users have zero control, zero transparency, and frankly, zero choice. You can't even leave a system even if you wanted to, because your friends are inside, your data is inside, your message history is inside. And I think that's going to change completely. Whether that's thought of as identity, I'm not 100% sure, but I think that customers will start demanding the ability to get what they pay for and not be kind of bait and switched at the last moment.
Okay. A couple of last questions. How do you like Bitcoin? How do you think about the project? Do you like Bitcoin? Do you think it's overvalued? Do you think proof of work is a waste? What do you think about the project?
I think Bitcoin is absolutely incredible. Of course, proof of work is a environmental cost, but the reality is that Bitcoin has done what no one else has been able to do before or since. And that's, we have a multi-billion-dollar economy that exists outside of any corporation, any government, and that's pretty incredible. And so I'm a huge fan of Bitcoin. I hold some Bitcoin, but I don't think we should stop at Bitcoin. And I think that the concept of let Bitcoin be the safest place to store your money. Let it be unchanging. Let it be solid and stable. And then let other experiments happen. Because at the end of the day, it's not enough for just gold to be decentralized. We really need to take control back over all kinds of all aspects of software. And to your point, identity, making sure our data is kept safe, and making sure we have choice in the software products we use.
Okay. I mean, that's a pretty good answer, I think. I mean, just one last question. Besides Bitcoin, any other project that you like that you want to talk about?
I mean, I hold Ethereum, and I'm a big fan of the community that's working on the decentralized finance. And I think it's probably the first place we're going to see tangible proof points that composability and actually the concept of multiple developers working on a shared system is going to be exponentially faster. I think we'll see that in Ethereum first. I think we're already seeing that in Ethereum. So I'm a huge fan of that, the project and the community. And in general, I'm a big fan of anybody that's sticking it through the skepticism and the depressed prices. I think this is where the real building happens, and so I'm proud of everyone that's sticking around.
Cool. I mean, thank you so much for the answers, Roham. So yeah, we'll leave it at here. And yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. And that's it. It's me and Roham at Web Summit. Say goodbye. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
All right.